Mercury Montego, D333, 2004-07. For the 2005 model year, Mercury revived the Montego nameplate after a 28-year hiatus. The Mercury counterpart of the Ford 500, the third-generation Montego entered production on July 12, 2004. Slotted below the Grand Marquis, the third-generation Montego was introduced as a replacement for the Sable alongside the 2006 Milan. In place of the three trims of the 500, the Montego was offered in two, Luxury and Premier. The third-generation Montego was manufactured at the Chicago Assembly Facility in Chicago, Illinois alongside the Ford 500 and the Ford Freestyle. The latter was a cuve wagon serving as a replacement for the Taurus, Sable station wagon. The third-generation Montego was built on the Ford D3 platform. Developed in collaboration with Volvo, the D3 chassis is the first full-size Ford platform to utilize front-wheel drive, or its optional all-wheel drive. Shifting away from the body-on-frame Panther platform, the D3 chassis utilizes unibody construction. Only 2 inches shorter than the Grand Marquis in wheelbase, the Montego was nearly 500 pounds lighter in curb weight. The Montego was equipped with a single engine, shared with the previous Taurus, Sable, a 203 horsepower version of the 3.0 liters Dr. Tech V6. Front-wheel drive versions were equipped with a 6-speed F21++ automatic, while AWD versions were equipped with a ZF CVT. The Montego, 500 and Ford Freestyle were manufactured using a Volvo-derived system called Total Vehicle Geometry, TVG, to ensure fit, finish and craftsmanship, by requiring comprehensive participation by all engineers as well as suppliers and vendors. Heavily using computer-aided design, TVG tracks all design modifications, translating them into the central CAD database, which in turn allows each engineer access to current project data. The system improves part tolerance at the body and white stage as well as early cabin integrity testing, via air leakage testing. TVG improved fit and finish at the first prototype stage and decreases pilot manufacturing times. For side impact protection, the bodywork is braced at the B-pillar via an energy channeling structural cross-car roof tube and a corresponding undercar or energy channeling cross tube, with the front seats mounted above the lower tube, locating them above a side impact energy path. The system derives from a side impact safety design marketed by Volvo as its Side Impact Protection System, SIPS. The first completely new full-size Mercury since the 1992 model year, the third-generation Montego was offered solely as a four-door sedan. With a height over 5 feet tall, matching the far longer Maybach 57, the Montego was the tallest Mercury sedan in over 50 years. While visibly sharing much of its exterior with its Ford 500 counterpart, the third-generation Montego was distinguished by exterior several design features. In line with other Mercury vehicles, the Montego was styled with a vertical waterfall-style grille with satin aluminum exterior trim, limiting chrome to the roofline. Exclusive to the Montego, headlamps and LED taillamps were standard equipment, the latter, the largest array of LED lights on any Ford vehicle worldwide. Ford chief designer, George Bucker, said it was a challenge to sculpt a Ford-styled body around a Volvo chassis, and added that designers used what he calls planar surfaces with taut lines to give the car a modern look without losing its passenger car proportions. In contrast to both the Grand Marquis and the Sable, the third-generation Montego was available solely in a 5-passenger configuration. In line with the 2001 to 2003/2005 Grand Marquis LSE and 2003 to 2004 Marauder, the Montego was configured with bucket seats and a console-mounted shifter. Slotted in between the 500 SE and Cell, the Montego Luxury featured cloth seats as standard, with leather seats as optional. The Mercury equivalent of a 500 Limited, the Montego Premier featured leather seats as standard, all-wheel drive and a sunroof were among the few available options. In contrast to the Grand Marquis, the Montego offered a 60/40 fold-down rear seat, expanding the 21 cubic foot trunk space. With the decklid closed, objects up to 10 feet in length could be transported within the car, when using the optional fold-down front passenger seat. At its launch, 2 airbags were standard, with 4 more available as an option: front seat airbags and side curtain. A design feature of the Montego includes its overall height to add interior space to the vehicle. To appeal to buyers of both sedans and sport utility vehicles, Ford raised the viewpoint of the driver. Marketed as command seating, the Montego features high H-point seating, the location of the occupant's hip point relative to the road or the vehicle floor. Its H-point is closer to the ground than that of a sport utility vehicle, but higher than a typical sedan, easing entry and exit. Also, the distance from the H-point to the floor of the vehicle is reflective of more upright seating. At its press launch, Ford said the 500's H-point is up to 4.5 inches higher than its competitors. The Montego also features theater seating, where second-row seats are higher. In the front row, the distance between the H-point and the heel point, where the occupant's foot touches the floor, is 12.7 inches. In the second row, the distance between the H-point and the heel point is 15.7 inches.